A syndicate of Southern investors purchased the lands from the trustees of the United Society for $316,000. The following year, the title was transferred to land speculators from Buffalo, who named their venture the Shaker Heights Land Company. Influenced by the Garden City movement espoused by British socialist Ebenezer Howard, the FAP's engineering company drafted a plan for the syndicate that called for both aesthetic and environmental considerations in the community's development. The European influence in urban planning also emphasized rational order and strong geometric configurations in the design, with the great cities of Europe providing the models. Compliance with stated principles was reinforced by local managing boards endowed with the authority to exercise control in development decisions. Home sites were offered for sale by 1904, but the public was slow to respond. The lengthy commute to downtown Cleveland was viewed as an obstacle to developers and potential residents. Oris Paxton and Mantis James Van Sweringen envisioned opportunity where others saw impediments, and in 1905 began the acquisition and development of Shaker Heights Village. By 1906, the Van Sweringens determined that the suburb's success would be linked to the building of public transportation to Cleveland.
The symbol of the transformation of Cleveland from an overgrown village to a modern metropolis is the Terminal Tower.
The Vans' dream envisioned a 21-minute commute from Shaker Heights to the city and their newly devised symbol of prosperity and commerce, the Terminal Tower Complex. But the obstacle to their plan lay in a 2-mile stretch of access owned by the Nickel Plate Railroad. The brothers purchased the entire railroad in order to acquire complete right-of-way. This initial venture in railroad speculation would escalate as the Vans continued to develop their expansive empire. Contrasted with the risk and uncertainty of the business world and the tumult of city life was the image of security offered in the planned residential retreat of an affluent suburb. The prosperity enjoyed by many Americans in the 1920s and heralded in the Plain Dealer was reflected in the growing community of Shaker Heights. Advertised as the peaceful Shaker Village, the idyllic suburb held the past to be the mirror of the future. Utilizing the heritage of the Shakers' Valley of God's Pleasure in their marketing strategies, the Van Sweringens accentuated the Shakers' reverence and stewardship of the land in their promotion of the new utopia.
Every house here will be of correct and pleasing architecture, individual, yet in harmony with those around it, each adding to the charm and value of the community.
Deed restrictions not only applied to architectural choices and home sites, but also excluded groups of people by race or religious practice. Some of these restrictions still existed until the late 1950s. For those living in Shaker Heights, the amenities included public and private schools, 2 country clubs, a riding academy, and several churches.
As residents, you will play more, enjoy your gardens, relax, and live in sunshine and clean, fresh air.
But the affluence of the good life took a severe turn in 1929. When the stock market crashed, the Van Sweringen financial empire collapsed. The lasting legacy of their vision is viewed throughout the architectural center of Cleveland, the Terminal Tower Complex, as well as in the community of Shaker Heights, chartered as a city in 1931. A sense of beauty permeates the planned community from the architectural to the natural, from the functional to the ornate. Visually linking the present to the past, residents and visitors to the community are never far from a strong historical presence. To understand the impact of the historical visionaries who have shaped the physical structures of Shaker Heights, education holds the key. In sparking the interests of citizens in the recorded events from the past, an ideal route is found to the discovery of local history. Beyond their personal use of the parks, buildings, places of worship, and institutions, residents, school children, and visitors are introduced to the vitality of social experimentation in America's past. Religious and personal tolerance becomes a lesson from history for the future, a gift of this unique community.
Oh, brethren, ain't you happy? Oh, brethren, ain't you happy? Oh, brethren, ain't you happy, ye followers of the Lamb? Sing on, dance on, followers of Emmanuel. Sing on, dance on, followers of the Lamb. Oh, sisters, ain't you happy? Oh, sisters, ain't you happy? Oh, sisters, ain't you happy, ye followers of the Lamb? Sing on, dance on, followers of Emmanuel. Sing on, dance on, followers of the Lamb. I'm glad I am a shaker, I'm glad I am a shaker, I'm glad I am a shaker, ye followers of the Lamb. Sing on, dance on, followers of Emmanuel. Sing on, dance on, followers of the Lamb. I'll cross my ugly nature, I'll cross my ugly nature, I'll cross my ugly nature, ye followers of the Lamb. Sing on, dance on, followers of Emmanuel. Sing on, dance on, followers of the Lamb. I mean to be obedient, I mean to be obedient, I mean to be obedient, ye followers of the Lamb. Oh, brethren, ain't you happy? Oh, brethren, ain't you happy? Oh, brethren, ain't you happy, ye followers of the Lamb? Sing